So I'm gonna go ahead and say, what does this look?
Ah,
Oh, it's even more yellowy.
yeah.
I think that looks a little
Oh,
better.
okay. So we could do YouTube Live, Facebook Live. Okay.
Well, it's already going through him. So
Okay. Right. 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 I'll go with. Ah! Well, welcome,
we're
welcome,
having
welcome.
fun.
Yes. So, wow. What did you do to all the lighting? Now it's like super yours.
All right.
Welcome, welcome,
Was
welcome
that it?
to Date Night with the Lunas. We're trying to fix the lighting at this moment, and we are broadcasting in 5 different locations now: YouTube, Facebook Live, SDC, StreamYard.
YouTube?
Yeah, I did
Is it
Facebook,
on YouTube?
YouTube,
BFAM?
BFAM 109.6. So, welcome to the show, Date Night with the Lunas. As okay, there, perfect.
I'm not touching it.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
I was told the lighting's good. We're gonna stick with it.
John is doing all the lighting. So please excuse us if we like all over the place here, but we are definitely trying to catch up. We're going to talk about our sponsor first, Fairville University.
Oh yes. We did a class recently with them.
Yes, we did. Rope and Romance there. So coming up on March 24th, we're doing Tantra 101, and it's going to be online. It is a what do you call it? Fairville strives to provide a judgment-free learning experience where every student has the opportunity to learn about sexual health and wellness in a safe environment. So you could always ask questions, participate, answer anonymously in the chat. So it's quite fun what we do.
They also have several stores across Florida, so go check them out.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty.
You have lots today.
Well, no, let's start with yours because I disappeared for 5 days, and then because your stories doesn't seem as long as mine, so that's why if we covered the short version, I don't want to like take the whole time up, and then you have no time to explain your adventures.
I think your adventures are more colorful and more fun. Mine is straight hardcore sex. That's all it is. Yours is complicated stuff.
Yeah, that's right. Because mine's is complicated. Yours is hardcore sex, which takes like what?
I could do
15
it in
minutes.
Well, I could do it a lot less than that.
Oh, you can? Okay, let's see. Let's talk about that.
So you left Wednesday.
I left Wednesday.
I drove you to the airport.
Yes, barely. That was super catch. I am forever grateful that I have clear TSA check-in, and luckily my partner did buy me a first class ticket, so it was I was able to go through the entire airport in 30 minutes and not miss my flight. I was panicking because I left my packing to the very last minute, like extremely last minute.
Note: do not start packing 2 hours before your flight leaves.
Yep.
You made it. So we went on dropped you off.
Right.
Came home. I ended up having a bunch of work to do, try to get as much out of the way, and decided to go out. And I had, again, you let me know you were safe.
Right.
Right?
Uh-huh.
So I went off to have fun. And it was one of those weird nights.
Right.
I ended up going with someone I was going to go his next day.
Right.
And basically what went on was a not 24 hours, but more than, almost 24 hours of him dominating me. And I'm normally not a submissive, but we've played before and things went really well. So we did puppy play. I got tied up.
Right.
I got beaten a bit. I got fucked quite a bit. And fisted.
Fisted, yeah.
And fisted.
And fisting. Yeah, we need.
Of course, fisting.
That sort of thing. So, hello, everyone. So that's all you did? I thought
that was it.
Wait, nah. But you had what, like 3 days of doing that, or 2 days?
No, I actually.
How many days? Because it sounded like 2. Okay.
I went Wednesday night.
Okay.
Stood there, till Friday morning, early in the morning. I went home. Mm-hmm. So I was being dominated for quite a bit. Now there's music.
Yeah, I'm like trying to figure this out over here.
This is interesting.
Yeah. If you keep on talking while I try to figure this out.
I came home. I slept Friday. When I woke up, I decided to go to Club Orlando.
Uh-huh.
And it just wasn't a good night. It was a very weird night at the club. I ended up leaving shortly after coming home and going back to sleep, and then I ended up working Saturday and Sunday.
Right.
It wasn't really as eventful. I'm sorry. I know I'm cutting this really short, but I did enjoy
I don't know. I'll have to figure that out later.
Ooh,
So
it's just making noise.
yeah, but it is like
People
are
interacting
watching
with us?
Yeah, so it's just I'm still like trying to figure out. This is our first time. Keep focusing over here. It's like
I guess I'll keep going.
Can we see more? No, you cannot see more because we are broadcasting live on Facebook, YouTube.
This is a chat show.
What do you call it? Fireside chat, and BFAM 109.6. So no nudity, no sex, no nothing. It is a entertainment show. Educational too. Yeah. Because a lot of education that we do. Yeah, I have no idea how to do this.
As you stress education, and I go into the broadcast saying, well, I got fisted quite a bit. Although fisting was interesting. I've done it before, basically.
Thanks. Yeah. Okay.
Hello there. Hey. We have our favorite usuals coming back.
Yes. Okay. Well, I don't know how to work this, so hopefully we're getting some good interaction with it. We'll figure it out. I'll listen to the Playback better because we're starting tonight. It's our first night doing fireside chat, and we're experimenting it because that's going to be our new podcast platform. Work in progress.
Technical issues.
Yes,
technical. We have lots of those.
Yeah. And I'm just trying to figure out what in the world is going on.
It's playing elevator music.
I know, but it's like, I don't know if they could hear us or not, or how they interact with us, but kind of. Okay, so you ended up working.
So I ended up going Friday night to Club Orlando. It's a bathhouse.
Right.
But again, it's very limited numbers, like most nightclubs still with COVID, I guess.
Yeah.
So there wasn't a whole lot of people. I enjoyed the facility and stuff, and then I actually swam in the pool.
Right.
I got that bored that I actually went in the pool and swam
at
up
night?
and down. At night. They
have
it
open
24/7.
Wow, you never go to the pool at night.
No, I rarely go. Well, even when I go to the pool, I usually lay down. I'll go in the pool. I got something different, so I went ahead and got in the pool. Hey, everyone.
Yep.
And then I honestly came home and slept. But the difference between this past visit and previous visits was not only being submissive, but being high. It was someone I had played with for a while. And let me rephrase that. When we were doing any type of bondage and stuff, don't do bondage high because then you don't know if you're getting hurt.
Exactly.
So we did the bondage and stuff. And then later in the evening, when it became just more of a fuck fest, I ended up, again, getting high. And sex high is interesting as a bottom. Oh, let's see.
What?
It's playing music over talking.
It's playing music, and I'm trying to figure out how to stop it, but...
No, but they're saying it over here.
Yeah.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Okay. All right. I guess. I don't know.
So you just turn the volume down?
Yeah, I'm fire. Oh, okay, wait. Jane's checking Firesides for it. It's playing music over your talking. Okay. So how do I get
hit that little settings button again? All right, hold on. Mute sound effects. Bottom.
I did. Okay, fine. So, fudgesicles. Yeah.
Okay, and...
Allow streams, purchase, yes. I want to,
okay.
And...
Video, leave... We don't know what we're doing on Fireside here.
We don't know yet, so...
what do you want to do?
I don't know. I really don't know. And it's like speaker request, accept. Okay, now what?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes. The which one? On where?
Weight? No, not in the settings. It's in the weight room. Yeah, we're broadcasting on multiple platforms and having some issues, but we'll figure this out.
Okay.
The wave button there?
Okay.
Do you see the icon that says WaveBot?
WaveBot. No, let's see WaveBot.
Wait, where?
Oh, I can't see if
you okay, I can't.
Where's WaveBot?
Where's WaveBot?
Okay, do you see my picture and Woody's picture?
Yes.
Yes.
In your audience?
Yes.
There's your picture, and then there's another person.
Oh, WaveBot. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, just click on that.
Yeah, it opened up.
It should stop. You can click just.
It's such a no. It's like that's. I'm sorry. I'm very frustrated. No.
I I've clicked the mute there.
Don't forget we're on the radio.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some-
Okay.
I know we're still here.
Okay. We got it. We got it.
That's interesting settings.
Yes. Very interesting.
Okay, so can everyone hear us?
Everything good now? It's like, okay, it stopped. Okay, sorry. Hello.
It happens.
Hi. Oh my God. Sorry. We were trying. So new things that we're learning. So
Mostly technical things.
mostly technical, but I'm very excited that we did that.
I learned about sex high.
Sex high.
Again, don't ever do BDSM high. That's a completely different thing. When you're in BDSM, you're putting yourself in a position where you need to be able to report if you're getting hurt. So never get high and do BDSM. But by the way, I have a legal card for it.
Yes,
so it
medical
works.
marijuana. So yes, I was, grateful that he got it instead of like now I have to dish out money for Pig Week because, now I get a consistent anxiety-free John.
The interesting thing is I'm 48 years old. I've probably, before I got my card, smoked less than a dozen times.
Uh-huh.
So I am a lightweight, like ridiculously lightweight. And I, by the way, weigh around 200 pounds.
Right.
But I am such a lightweight at this stuff. So I've had some times where I've smoked too much.
Yes.
Was not fun.
It was interesting. I wouldn't say not fun, but definitely interesting in that aspect. So that.
So the time I had too much was edibles. And I went to bed and I had the worst sleep ever.
Paranoia.
I was worried about missing my high school sophomore year chemistry class because that teacher always scared me, and failing finals and everything we think about in high school. Again, I'm 48 years old and I'm having nightmares about high school shit. That's what overdosing on weed does to me.
to you, yes.
But okay, to my benefit at the time we did this, we were given ever go to a Boston Market, the little trays,
the little
food?
cornbread like that size.
They gave us that as an edible.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was COVID, so I ate a little more. We didn't realize that was 8 doses.
Well, they didn't put how many serving size it was, and because they were just starting the business and they were looking, and we were helping them market and promote. So yes, that's what happened. They learned very quickly to put serving size on all their products because it was just hysterical.
They say you look beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
I think you do.
Yes. After, yeah.
However, you did look beautiful last night when you came home from your long trip.
Yes, I did. That's the one thing I regret not doing was taking selfie photos of all my outfits that I wore because they're all brand new outfits that I bought for the trip. And I forgot to take photos.
I learned a new thing.
Wow. Yeah.
Sweater dress.
Sweater dress.
I never thought a sweater dress could look sexy, but apparently my wife pulls this off.
Well, yeah, you saw last night was a sweater dress. The pink dress. You always like that pink sweater dress that goes up to my knee. That's like that turtleneck sweater dress. But
normally you say I'm going to get a sweater. It's a sweater that comes up to here, kind of conservative, kind of thick. That's what sweater should be.
Yeah, it was a thick sweater dress. It just got to the knees. I just needed to wear like pantyhose or tights or something underneath because my legs were freezing. And I wore ankle boots, like the majority, because my long suede boots were not comfortable enough to ride in the car because, when I'm in the car, I want to take them off because they're heels. I want to be comfortable.
No, they're heels and they go up about,
past my knee.
I was going to say more like another 4 inches that are touching your ass.
Nah, no, they're not that high up. They only go up to my knee, past my knee on that aspect. So, but what are we looking here? Yay! By the way, Hugh hugs the
body is so sexy.
See, oh, thanks. Would like to see the selfies. Yeah, no, I didn't take any. That's what I'm saying. I wish I did. I was like, I was so focused because like my partner doesn't like to take photos a lot, except he loves to take photos of.
He loves taking photos. He likes being in photos.
Yeah, he doesn't like being in photos. So like I said, it was just really where like we actually stopped at Buc-ee's and I was super embarrassed. I was so embarrassed. I was like, everyone was honking and waving at him with his tripod and taking pictures. And I'm just like trying to hide somewhere. I'm like, no. And it's like, oh, I need you to stand here so I could get, but I'm like, oh God, just delete the photos. That's it. Just delete the photo afterwards that I'm having a photo right in front of Buc-ee's. I'm like, no. So, cause it was one of those stops we had to make. So.
Oh, you have to stop at Buc-ee's.
Well,
you just can't go past the Buc-ee's.
Okay, well, he made me stop at south of the border, and we took pictures at south of the border. And I'm like, Fred, it was cold. It's like, oh, but he wanted to do the cheesy photos there. I'm like, ugh.
I think you should start from the beginning at the same time.
Yeah.
Hold on, I got more to say. I think taking the new Mexican girlfriend to south of the border. There's just something in there that I feel is wrong, but I'm dropping it at that.
Oh yeah,
Besides
I
how
totally agree.
cheesy it is.
It's extremely cheesy. It's extremely cheesy, and it's like they need someone to pay for their lights because the neon lights were not all working. Yeah.
Were they like the scary ones at the gas station that they go out when you drive by?
No, they were all just out. They were not like this. I wish it was like that scary one. Then it just makes more sense because then it's a scary, like, little light one there. Happy we came across stream. Very interesting. We are now following.
Oh,
thank you. So you dropped me off at the airport as I was blessed that I had first class TSA clear to get there in 30 minutes. But
She loves saying first class.
Right, but it was because if I had to do the regular, the line was so freaking insane. Yeah, it was insane for me to check in my bags. But I was wearing my new Timberland high boots that I didn't realize that had metal, so I had to take them off. So that slowed down the process.
Is your boots a lethal weapon?
Yeah, they were the lethal weapon. And I'm just like, seriously? I thought so. I took them off, put them in the conveyor belt, and then ran to the the monorail here in Orlando, and then put my shoes on the monorail because I wanted to make sure I got there. Because as I'm like checking in, like at the counter, she's like, they're starting to board now, and I'm like, yeah, I know. Can you hurry up the process? It's like, and luckily she put priority on my bags, so my bags made it to the airplane because that was one of my concerns once I arrived in Boston. It was like, are my bags going to get here or not?
That's when the text started of, I'm on the plane. My bags, who knows?
Yeah, and the worst part with my partner, he booked the ticket. He knew exactly what's coming, and he still arrived 30 minutes late to pick me up.
I thought you said the plane was early.
Plane was 15 minutes early.
Who ever heard of that?
Well, your flight was 30 minutes early when you came back from Houston, and that sent me into panic because I had a time, I had things to do, and then when I looked at it, it's like, oh, now arrived. I'm like, what?
There's someone in aviation has to tell us this. How did they all of a sudden get there faster?
Right, but also the previous time when I flew from Los Angeles to Boston, it was 15 minutes early too.
I'm used to like days late.
Yeah, or late or something, but it was early. So when he finally picked me up, I was like, fine. We got into the car, and I was on the phone with the hotel because I try to connect the reservations because you know me, I bargain shop as much as I can.
Oh, I thought you wanted points. That too.
Yeah, well, technically, if I booked directly with the hotel, I would have gotten a free upgrade instead of booking through the American Express card, which I got 5 times the points. So I was, I've learned my lesson now. Just book directly through whatever hotel website directly, such as like the Marriott's, the Hiltons, the IHG, because then right now they're upgrading everyone. Like every other reservation I've had, I've been upgraded as long as I booked directly through the hotel. If I book through American Express, they just give me whatever I get. So that's why I'm like, okay, so was it worth the 5 times the points or getting the free suite upgrade? I was, that was the thing. So I learned my lesson on that one. So wah. But then we started getting on the road and just going through and seeing the snow. I think I took some pictures of snow.
I forgot there was snow.
There was snow, and it wasn't that cold because I don't know, probably because the airport, like massive heat blast, like that dry heat, so it was super warm, and I'm like, forget it, I need to sit outside. And so I waited for him outside, and it wasn't as cold. It was 40 degrees, but I don't know if there was humidity or something, but I was just too super hot because again I had all my layers on too. So, many layers. And it's like, yeah, because I was even sweating through the airport because I had a sweater on and leggings, and running through the airport, you do get a little bit of sweat here in Florida.
But he arrived 30 minutes late.
Found him though. Found him. Yeah. He found me even though I was on the phone. I'm like, hey, I told him exactly where to pick me up. Got into the car and started driving to Connecticut to the Mohegan. Mohegan Sun. Mohegan Sun. Okay. So it's a casino. I forgot the name of the town in Connecticut, and it's literally, if you ever been to Vegas, it's like kind of like those Vegas hotels, like the Venetian, the MGM Grand, what's the other one? Caesars.
It's just massive.
It's just massively huge, and you know they had all these games and stuff, and it wasn't like super ridiculously busy. So I don't know if it's because of COVID or not. I mean, we haven't gone to Vegas since COVID, so we couldn't even tell, because I know like how it gets just massively packed, like everything is like taken, and
it was packed.
no, it wasn't.
No,
No, it was pretty empty. But you know, a lot of like the machines. I mean, we played. I think I just spent like $15 on games, because you have to put like your little playing card, so that way you get points. But then you put cash, so it's not like in Vegas that you load up the money on the card. You gotta like, you know how we've done in Vegas, that we just put the money on the card and that's all. That's how we play it. Yeah, but this one was like, yeah, it was like $5 minimum on all the games. So I'm like, okay, fine. So, you know, so that's why we only played 3 games. And
I'll take it to Bellagio. They made it a $50 minimum on some of those tables.
And no, it wasn't a table. It was the slot machines.
Oh.
Yeah, you know, the
little...
that's
disappointing.
Yeah, it was $5. You know, the ones that I just go in and put my little quarter or whatever kind of deal. Yeah, no, it was like a $5 minimum to play them.
We're going back to Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's better down there.
Yeah, exactly. Hollywood or friggin' Vegas on them. So we get to the hotel, and it was around 6 o'clock, I guess, that we get there, because it was like a 2-hour drive on it. I think I texted you. I can't remember. I know I texted you when I landed, and I texted you when the whole debacle with him.
Yes. Well, I was going to say, for those of us being on a new station over here, obviously we're a married couple.
Yep.
She was visiting her boyfriend.
Correct.
And doing a road trip, driving back from
Boston. So Massachusetts to Florida, as we like to say it. Yeah.
So you texted me when he picked you up,
right,
and said you're going, and then you texted me really late at night saying,
no. And the worst part is, I thought I hit send. I did it. I was like, wait a minute, why is it like this? Because I was questioning why you haven't responded back, and I was like, oh crap, I never hit send.
Yeah,
so,
and then I got it.
Yeah, then you got it. But yeah, so that's the reason we get there. So a lot of the things that we originally planned for this trip did not happen. Absolutely did not happen. I was just like, okay. So for many of you who don't know, there's a website called FetLife. And it's kind of like a little of everything: BDSM, fetishes, swinging, all the kinkster stuff. And there's a lot of businesses have little groups in there. And one of the things that we wanted to visit, and he was the one who really was pushing it, and I'm just doing research, was Art Cinema, which was an adult theater in Connecticut. And so I said, hey, do you want me to post something to figure out, kind of engage the crowd and engage the vibe to see, is it busy on a Wednesday night? I know couples are $10 off or half off, and who actually goes there, what, so kind of, it's like, yeah, sure, go ahead. I'm like, okay, did that. We never went. Place was open from 12 to 9. By the time we, got reacquainted, to put it mildly, it's like
you haven't seen each other in months.
4 months. We haven't seen each other in 4 months. Yeah.
So 2 people who haven't seen each other in 4 months, very attracted to each other, in an empty hotel room. Are they going out?
No, and it's like and to put everyone in perspective, he is my very, very, very vanilla boyfriend. Like extremely vanilla. It's like to the point that Drew's like, "How are you dating him again?" And I'm like, "Hush, Drew." And then what is it? KC, he was like, you need vanilla to make a milkshake. I'm like, oh God. I thought that was the cheesiest line he ever said, but it's just like, but it's true. You need vanilla to make a milkshake.
At least you had plenty of support, at least text support while you're up.
Text, yes.
Text support.
Text support, yes. And it's like, even Drew was like, you gotta send me your location. I'm like, dude, I am not sending you my location here. I'm technically the only person I need to report in on my whereabouts and my well-being is John. He's the only one I should be.
I'm privileged.
Yeah, you're privileged, but again, that's who I should be.
I put the ring on it.
There's no ring.
You don't wear the ring.
There's no ring. I'm still waiting for my Doctor Who engagement ring. I showed you 12 years ago what I wanted. 12 years ago, I showed you that Doctor Who ring.
Get back to the story.
Oh my God. So basically, but by the time we got reacquainted, he fell asleep, and then it was like 7 o'clock.
Oh,
Yeah. So, it's like, okay, so 7 o'clock, I'm kind of hungry at this point. So I know for sure we're not going to be making it to the art cinema because it's an hour's drive and we still need to eat before we go over there. And it closes at 9. So it's like, wah, wah, wah. We didn't go. Like, fine. And that's the outfit I should have took a picture of. Now I can't remember which dress I was wearing. Oh, yeah. No. I think I do. Maybe.
as you plan this trip, it
Yeah.
sounds like like when you tell a 5-year-old or like a 10-year-old they're going to Disney World, they're like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and this. And they're like, we're only there a short amount of. No, we're doing all of this.
Well, no, because originally the plan was as soon as we got there, at the hotel, drop off the bags and get up and go to get something to eat and then go to art cinema. Again,
Yeah, primal urges.
More him than me. I'm ready to go to the art cinema because I would have much more fun there. But that's just me because I've been to adult theaters quite a bit, and just this was like a lot of popping his cherries on this trip. That's basically what it was supposed to be. Continue on. What time is it? 7:25. Okay, just trying to make sure before our halftime sponsors, so that's why I'm keeping track. So we ended up going to eat downstairs at the casino because they had like 20 different eateries. And it was one of the local chains because we were trying to not eat chain restaurants while on this road trip. Unfortunately, we failed miserably because some of the chain restaurants that he's eaten, I haven't, and vice versa. So it was like, okay, fine. So we ate at this place called Summer Shack, and it's a seafood chain from Boston, and they had grilled octopus, and that is like one of my favorites. I don't know what crack or what they made these grilled octopus, but it was enough that I was freaking having orgasm after orgasm after orgasms. Like the food, like I couldn't chew slow enough to really just savoring that. I'm just like, if I could just had that for the rest, it was just, oh my God, the taste, the flavor. It was,
Are you
oh,
telling me octopus is your new favorite PSM?
I don't know how they
Ooh.
prepared it, I was just like, oh my God. Because I had it over at Disney and it was good. I mean, not orgasmically good, but this was like, oh shit. Like the flavors were exploding. It was just I just like,
Could it have anything to do with the fact that you pretty much had wild sex right beforehand?
no, because
It was just, they just did it that good.
They did it that good. That was just really good. And then we ended up splitting a like a platter that had scallops, fried shrimp, and fish. Yeah, like fish and chips and coleslaw. So we did that and had the rosé was good.
The wine?
The wine, yeah. I'm a big rosé fan, so it's like good rosé. And I think he had like a Chardonnay, I think, or Prosecco. I couldn't remember. So then after that, we actually found there was a Lush store. He's never been to Lush, and we had this giant bathtub. I mean, we wanted to take a bubble bath together, so we stopped in and take a bubble bath. We bought it, and he was just overwhelmed because he's never seen a Lush store. I'm like, yeah, no, it's like if you look at my bedroom right now, I have like a massive bag with like 10 Lush things because there was like 50% off at Christmas, so I couldn't resist. So that was a good thing. Walked around, was in the casino. Now I'm trying to think which dress I was because it was one that I wore and wasn't wearing anything underneath. So when we sat like in a certain like game slot, it was like in a nice angle, like no one could really see us, but kind of see us, kind of deal. And again, it's me grabbing his hand to put him where it needs to go instead of like, I know my husband would just be up my thigh and going underneath my skirt, like without me saying anything. He would just grab it and he would just start doing it. That's John. That is my husband. So that is what I'm used to. That's what I'm accustomed. I don't need
that's
to think.
What you like, and that's
yes,
what you started.
I do. Yes.
Earlier on in the relationship,
yeah,
we were at a club. It's like the first couple months.
Yeah.
I put my hand on the chair next to me, and she sat on it, and then moved it to turn my hand over, and it was fun from there.
Right. It is, but it's just like he does. I mean, he's 50 years old. A 50-year-old guy should have that inkling, especially you have a woman with a sexy mini dress that technically in the right angle, you could have seen up the dress.
Oh, I'm sure you bought that by mistake.
You approved it. I always show you the dresses before I buy it. I'm like,
You look gorgeous.
I do look gorgeous in all of them. Like, yeah, because now I have to like look to see which one it was. I can't remember what it was.
Forgot what dress you're in.
Yeah, what dress it was. So it's like, yeah, it was just enough to just put it on and just go out to dinner in the casino, have a little frisky fun, and then come back and do another, So in less than 24 hours, we did it 4 times. So it's just like, all right. And I'm like, okay, that's a record for us. And he was even more impressed with himself because he's like, he didn't think he had it in him. I'm like, dude, you went 4 months without me. So of course, I know I could be egotistic and yeah.
But that gives us a great pause to talk about
our sponsor.
Specifically, and by the way, we love this. We actually got orders. It's Elmer Fudge and Tweety Tweets. That's the name of the company. They make fudge. Unfortunately, they cannot ship outside of the U.S.
The U.S.
They can do Canada.
They can do Canada, but not outside of Canada and the U.S. That's it. Sorry. I know. Thank you for supporting us by buying from our sponsor. It's just not international.
So
sorry.
Someone from, was it Belgium?
No, Bolivia.
Bolivia.
Yes.
Sorry.
Thank you. Sorry.
Ordered it. And apparently with the shipping and the customs and the food inspections, that would have to be
$40 just to ship it.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's $1 a piece to ship $40. Yeah, no, that's a huge loss for the company. And we don't want them to lose money. So we want them to still support us and be our sponsor.
However, I am happily enjoying or have enjoyed.
You have enjoyed. I'm yet to experience. Yes.
They sent us some stuff for Christmas and there was so much stuff and you just like to look at it. And I'm like, if it's there, I'll eat it.
Right. I barely had the chance to eat it or anything. It was there for less than 24 hours.
So it was there for days.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
If you're interested in supporting us or ordering some fudge, you can order by texting 678-322-7802.
Yeah. And they have several different flavors and things. So yeah.
Someone said some countries have a mail service in Portugal. We can create virtual address in the US.
Oh, and they can ship it.
Interesting.
I don't hear any music. Yep. No, there's not supposed to be.
Yep.
Okay.
That's been a bit.
Okay, sorry.
So Elmer Fudge. Yes.
Okay, Elmer Fudge, definitely. Tweet. And so we were at the casino and
still
day one. And we were planning to go to Dark Odyssey and we didn't find the Mohican Suns drive-through COVID testing. And it was Thursday that we were checking out and we needed to get our COVID test so we could attend Dark Odyssey. So we didn't do that. And we just started driving. We were supposed to stop at a boutique shop that he wanted to do for the cross-dressing. That's all, like I was having challenges with the cross-dressing. Love him to death. My vanilla. He didn't do more research, but apparently the shop is a showroom by appointment only. Nowhere in the website does it say by appointment. He did not call to verify, hey, can I go in? Can I shop? Nothing. It wasn't until we kind of sort of found the place based on the GPS address. And he called up and it's like, yeah, you had to make an appointment. You had to do a $50 deposit. Unfortunately, we can't do anything right now. And it was like an hour. So about technically 2 hours out of our way from heading from Connecticut to Baltimore, Maryland. So that's where we kind of changed a little bit of plans because the original plans was to go like Washington, D.C., go to the museums, do all those fun things. But when I presented Dark Odyssey, he was interested. And that was something I truly, truly, truly wanted to go and attend. I wanted that super bad.
Well, we used to be regulars at fetish conventions.
Right.
And we haven't won since COVID hit.
Since COVID, it's like been 2.5 years since that. Yeah, because it's going to be 3 years that FetishCon hasn't, almost 3 years for Fire. I mean, so a lot of our favorite conferences have not happened. So this was going to be like, I could doll up, I could do my leather, I could do my corset, I can do that. So I'm like, fine. So Thursday was an all-day travel. So by the time we got to the hotel in Baltimore, and it was a nice hotel, I really liked it. And it was around the corner from the event, so it was perfect. But crash and burn, went to sleep on Thursday night. So Friday we got up kind of late, found a place to get our COVID test. Unfortunately, it was a 2 day wait. And I was like, fuck, because I'm used to like our little center care, urgent care over here that gives me the same day, like a couple hours later, same day. And it's like I could have taken it like either Tuesday or Wednesday before I left to get the test, but he's like, no, let's do it together. And da da da. I'm like, okay, let's do it together.
That sounds strangely romantic. Let's do COVID tests together.
I know he's always looking for the romance. Okay, always. He's like the romantic. Like seriously, let me get to the bad romantic joke in a minute. So then it was still like early. It was like about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and he's like, "Well, let's still go to DC, and check it out." And I'm like, time wise, it was like an hour drive to DC. We get there, the museum's going to close at 5:30, but I wanted to go to Dark Odyssey's vendors, and they closed at 7. And at that point, I just kind of like, okay, I'll give in. And I had a good time at the museum because he was kind of rushing it. It was like 3 floors because we did the American Museum of History American history. It was a good museum and safe, but there's some like exhibits that I would have loved to just like put more time and read what was going on. I would have loved to go shopping at the merchandise shop because I like getting souvenirs and tchotchkes. Did not get to do that. And Mr. Trigger happy with his camera. He's like taking photos. I'm just like, oh God, it's like, I'm all for, trying to preserve, but this guy, he's also kind of like a amateur professional photographer. Like he's done some like professional gigs, like, weddings and birthday parties, and he's good at it. And he, kind of deal. But I'm like, it's like, hi, time.
Right. For once, we're on a schedule.
Yeah, we're on the schedule time-wise. I mean, luckily the check-in for the registration at Dark Odyssey wasn't until 11 o'clock. So I knew we had some time, but it was one of those, like my anxiety was starting to kick in because I really, really wanted to go to Dark Odyssey. We get there. I show them the paperwork. I tell them we tried to get it earlier. We've been traveling. Denied. Access denied. Big time. So I'm all dolled up, black lace skirt, tights,
corset.
I did wear booty shorts just in case. So just to really, and this is like in 29-degree weather. So I have like this pink sweater dress that I just put on over my outfit. And then my leather coat. So because we were just going to walk around. I mean, like I said, from our hotel to the Dark Odyssey event, it was like a 2-minute walk. So it wasn't too bad. And I had my backpack with my Doctor Who aftercare blanket. So anywhere I go to a fetish party, I need to have my aftercare blanket, period. Because it's like, afterwise, just put me in my blanket, put me in the corner, and let me go in subspace. I was good. I did not have a complete emotional anger meltdown with him.
He's still alive.
He's still alive. He's still alive, but he saw my demeanor and everything just crash and burn. One thing I do have to criticize on Dark Odyssey, if I'm going to prepay for merchandise, I want my merchandise available with my badge. Not that, oh, here's your ticket, go to the merchandise booth, pick it up, and then find out that what I ordered is out, so you need to get a replacement. And I'm like, that's not
a refund.
A replacement.
That's
just
bullshit.
that's how you ended up with 2 pins of the same, because I was upset because we've been to other conferences that I prepaid my merchandise, and they actually have our merchandise together with our stuff. So that way it's not like someone else is going to be able to buy it. You have it. That's yours. You paid for it. Here you go. Here was like, no, just show up to the merchandise table and hopefully they have it. So I've learned my lesson not to pre-order from that event company. So if it's available, great. If not, no, because they were cherry pop pins. So it's like, because
you were doing a lot of that.
Yeah. I was popping this cherry and I was just like, yeah, kind of deal. And it just devastated me because the music was fantastic, the audience was fantastic, it was everything, littles, leather, of riggers. I saw the people and I couldn't go, and I tried. I really, really tried, and I didn't have that much of a meltdown, which I should have. I should have had a most major, because that just devastated me and ruined the trip for me at that point.
How was he seeing this conference? Probably overwhelmed, not even going inside though.
He was overwhelmed, yes. And then I was like, you know how they make you sign all the forms? It's like, so they had 3 forms. And I told them, it's like, okay, you sign these 2 forms. I'm signing these 3 forms. And because the 3rd form was a model release form. And I'm like, okay, cool, because of the radio show and everything. And he's like, what do I need to sign? I'm like, no, you don't, because you don't want to be signed. And that's like, so it was kind of like babysitting him too, but you could see the massive face confusion, overwhelmness, not knowing if he's supposed to look up, not down or something, and just trying to follow my lead. Very lost puppy look.
First King Conference.
First King Conference there, yes. And you realizing throughout this whole trip, we're talking about him exploring his submissive side, because like the cross-dressing and chastity cage, that's a very submissive role. Mm-hmm. And he was really excited. I took a chastity cage with me, but we never had a chance to put it on because he was never flaccid. It was like, you're fucking hard as a rock. There's no way we're able to put this. And there was no way for me to try to like really make it flaccid. It was like, I couldn't, it's like, what do we do here? Because even in the bubble bath, it was hard. I was just like, okay, I can't put the cage on you anytime soon.
So that's 4 times in 24 hours.
Yeah, less than 24 hours. Less than 24. So it's like, yeah. And what do you call it? So we got back. He tried his at first like very best to calm me down and like really like talk to me in Spanish. So he was trying to like be very tender. He wasn't sure if he was supposed to hold me, hug me, or anything, like trying to comfort me, because he really didn't know how to comfort me. And I was at a mindset that I'm not going to tell you how to comfort me, because I know normally you would like hold me and let me cry and have whatever my disappointment is, to let it out. And I just didn't feel.
It's still a new relationship.
Right.
We've been together a very long time. I know how to comfort you. But even sometimes you freak out, and I have to literally say, I don't know what you want me to do. Please pick an option.
Right. Yeah. And yeah, he wasn't. It's like, and he was like, he was talking to me in Spanish the whole time. I'm like trying to like really like slow. And it's just like, you know what? Let me take off my makeup. Again, I should have took photos because my makeup was hot. It's like the outfit was hot, but you
need to redo that as a photo shoot.
Yeah, I have to redo that as a photo shoot because, like I said, even the boots. Oh my god! But he had to help me with my boots because those things are tight, and so he was nice enough. He helped me, and then so we went into bed, and he started holding me and squeezing me tight. And this is where we both discovered a new kink for both of us. And it was like, and he was holding me tight, like in the places where you would normally flog me or paddle me.
So the shoulders, the butt, the calves, No.
It was just mostly like the upper back, a little on the butt, not so much. Like the next time we did it, then it was on the butt because then I knew what was going on. So, but the way he was being tight and aggressive, he said strong. I was like, I'm saying aggressive, but it was getting me off, and it surprised both of us. And his facial expressions are very mixed. Like it's not accurate what he's feeling or thinking. So he was like really freaked out because I was like really enjoying him being like, I want to say forceful. He wants to say strong. Different perspectives, like, because again, vanilla, very vanilla, and he's very delicate to me, not like him being delicate, like not trying to break me, trying to be very loving, very, very romantic, seductive, sensual, that kind of vanilla sex.
He doesn't quite know he has a girlfriend that likes it hard.
Yes, he knows I'm the girlfriend that likes it hard. He knows that because he was trying to scrub off my fire cup marks. I was like, no, honey, that's how it's supposed to be. I like my
That's-
marks, and he's trying to scrub. I'm like, no, they're not going to scrub off. It's not that kind of, it's not that kind of situation. So it was like the funniest shit, like him, because John fire cut me before my going on the trip, because I wanted to make sure like all my toxic, my blood, so it's going fine. So yeah, and it's like, and so it was really intense. I orgasmed, and then I hit subspace.
So
And
you orgasmed from being squeezed.
right, the way he was doing it, like really, oh my god, it was fucking hot. Like I'm like, where the fuck have you been? I'm enjoying this, and he was still like freaked out about it. And then like, but for him, it was like a rush. So it was like, you know how we have sex, and sometimes I'm like the Energizer Bunny. This happened to him, and I'm like, whoa, I'm hitting subspace. And he's asking me all these questions while I'm trying to go into subspace. And it was just like, oh,
Well,
snap.
questions like sub what?
Yeah, like subspace. What is that? Oh, and then it's like, I was getting confused what you meant with aftercare blanket. What's an aftercare blanket? I'm like, oh, God. So because it turned out to be kind of like a BDSM scene that we never negotiate, we never discuss. I mean, because he doesn't want to know about the BDSM side at all, because he's not really interested in that, in causing me pain at all. And it was,
Oh, you like that?
he liked that, and then he kept biting on my chest, and he enjoyed that very much. And I was just like, okay, yeah, we got something. But like me trying to explain subspace while trying to go into subspace,
That really don't work.
no, it doesn't work. And then he kept holding me tight and cuddling, and I'm like, and when I go in subspace, I'm like, no, leave me, like, back off. I'm like, let me cuddle in my ball, get me in my blankie, and leave me alone. That's how I enjoy my subspace. So we never negotiated that. We never negotiated subspace. But he is like the type of person that would be like the subspace aftercare person. Like he'll be the aftercare person. Let me cuddle. Let me get you. Let me get you a blanket. Let me get you juice. Whatever you need, I'll take care of you. He's that person. But this was like a whole new thing, and I was just like, oh my god, what the hell?
Well, you never negotiated BDSM because you never thought you'd get into it. You
I
kind of
tried.
just fell into it.
No. I tried to explain it to him, and I tried because I have been trying since we've met to really explain, and trying to like, explain to him, because he knows that we do a lot of rough play, and he knows about the flogging. And he says he has lots of questions, but again, at the same time, he doesn't want to hear and know the answers. So this was like one of those like, we should have had this conversation beforehand, so you have an idea. Because I didn't realize I had to explain my aftercare blanket to him, because he was totally confused, because he saw me carrying it to like Dark Odyssey and having it. So then when we finally got, it's like I passed out. He finally just like let me go. I was just like passed out. I'm like, finally.
But we're only up to Thursday night.
That was Friday night.
That was Friday.
That was
No,
Friday
we
night.
did,
Yeah, because Thursday
night
was all traveling and crash and burn.
Right.
So this was Friday. So I mean, so technically it ended on a very high evening, even though I didn't get to go to Dark Odyssey, and that was like a heartbreaker for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so Saturday it was our another drive day.
Well, Saturday is when you called me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you had to go through explaining the whole situation. It was really funny hearing you saying how it went from I'm very Dark Odyssey to I found the new fetish.
Right. That, which I totally caught me from surprise, and especially him. Like it totally like, what the fuck is this? Kind of deal. And then, we were in the car ride and we talked about it, and he felt bad at the same time, enjoyed it, pleasure from it, because it was kind of like a very dominating role. And it was something like, we were like, well, this entire trip you were talking about a submissive. Now you experience being a dominant, and now you enjoyed it very much. And and even some of his other concerns is like, it's like, I felt really bad when I said, I want to fuck you. And I'm like, oh my God, that fucking turned me on. Why would that make you feel bad? I was like, I don't say those things. I'm like, the very vanilla part of him, like extremely so vanilla that I'm like, no. And even trying to like, if like, I try because we dirty talk a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
During
It's
sex,
during-
before sex.
Yeah.
On the
And
phone.
so I was trying to get him to do a little bit. And like, I was like, hey, I'm your dirty little slut. And he was having a hard time, even in the middle of having sex, to say that. He can't. He feels really bad. Like I could see him like going to take a shower to get rid of the dirtiness. Okay, then this is how this guy.
You
this
picked
is,
the vanilla.
he is he's still vanilla.
He is.
But
He
with
has
sprinkles,
some
he has a little sprinkles now. But yes, this is like what he did, and like I said, we were talking about it, and like certain things he was just still like uncomfortable, but at the same time he felt guilty for feeling like really enjoying what we did. And I'm like, dude, I enjoyed it. And it's like you could have gone a little bit harder, both biting and holding me tight, and really, so still trying to find our groove on it.
And it's like with any new relationship, trying to get into it,
right,
and get the chemistry,
right. And so Saturday night we stopped at South Carolina and took photos at south of the border. God, I hated that. I hated that. But he was like so proud and loved the pictures and everything. I'm just like, oh lordy, Lord. I'm like, no, just no. I just did this to satisfy his like little photography needs, and I'm like, fine. And I told him, it's like, we should eat dinner at south of the border. And he's like, no, it's too cheesy. I'm like, I don't care. I like Mexican food. Let's just eat it here before we get to the hotel. I mean, we were like 20 minutes away from the hotel. It's like, no, there should be stuff over at the hotel. I'm like, fine. So we go check in at the hotel, drop off the bags, and then we were going to try to find to eat. And there was like 10 restaurants there. So we thought, okay, anything. Every restaurant had a 2-hour wait. Like, luckily, we finally found a Chili's that had like an empty bar seat there that I'm like sit in, and then there was like another bar seat on the other side. And I told them, it's like, hey, just grab the chair. And they're like, no, the people next to us are going to leave. I'm like, I'm hearing the conversation, I'm seeing the tab. And I told them, like, they're not leaving, just grab. No, I'll be fine. I'm like, yeah. So it wasn't until the people on the left side said, hey man, hey, we'll move down. Here's a chair. Then he listened to them, and I'm like, I gave him like this nasty ass look. I'm like, motherfucker. Like, you didn't listen to me. You wait until somebody else said it. I'm like, what makes you think that I'm not going to get pissed about this? It's like, I have your back. It's like, you don't understand. I am very observant and protective and making sure that, everything's taken care of.
You are a wonderful partner. In the sense that you're always looking out for me.
Right. Like always, I always like do ahead. But like I said, I the only fuck up I did on the trip with him was the COVID test, because I should have done that before we left. But he wanted to do it together, and like like I said, he's a fucking romantic to no extent. Because he did give me a box of chocolates, Valentine's chocolates. I'm like, motherfucker, I told you I don't want anything for Valentine's. I don't care if it's even after the holiday and it's like the discounted candy. I don't want anything resembling Valentine's Day.
But you did bring Christmas presents.
I bought, well,
and you did great.
No, I did Christmas presents, anniversary present, because our 1-year anniversary is coming up, and then his birthday. And so he's a big fan of Ted Lasso. So since he wears like dress shirts and then a sweater, V-neck sweater over it, I got him like one of those, like from the show. Then a Richmond jersey from the show, but with his name and his jersey number on the back, personalized. And then a what do you call it? Blue hoodie sweatshirt that has "Believe," which is like the motto or something of the show. The boy wore it the entire trip. I'm like, that better be washed by the time you get to your mom's, because he like got like stuff all over his sleeve, and I'm just like, honey, you have other stuff there. And the funny part is, like, he has this jersey that he keeps wearing all the time, and he kept dropping hints, oh, girlfriend steal, and I want you to wear it with nothing underneath, and never once gave it to me. I'm like, so you really didn't want me to steal this, because you never even brought it out for me to even take it, because we were going through his sick, and he's like, no, because he had a bin of clothes that he was going to wear at his mom, and that's where it was. I'm like, yeah, girlfriend stealing stuff. Yeah, you didn't give me the opportunity to do it, and it's like, for me, I never steal or borrow. I don't even borrow any of your clothes, really. And the only reason I'll borrow stuff, it's like it's a last resort. It's like, hey, can I just wear this? Like your Doctor Who sweatshirt.
You're
Your
happy to
hoodie.
steal blankets.
Blankets are different. Yeah, blankets are like hands down. Those are my favorite kind of deals. And then so when we ate dinner, and instead of having sex, we actually watched a movie, and we cuddled and watched a movie. And I was like,
You had a vanilla night.
we had a very, very vanilla night.
This is rare.
It was extremely rare because I was trying, but it was a good movie, and we have to watch it still together. So, and it was like, okay, fine, went to sleep. And then that was like the first night that he didn't have jaws of life on me. So like every time I've seen him and been with him, like August, October, and even this trip, he just holds me tight. And even if he falls asleep and he's facing that side, he'll grab, stay like that. He'll grab his arm and then grab my arm and hold it like that.
Ah.
And then his leg, he will do stuff like that during his sleep. But this time, nothing. I was like, I was left alone. I have room. I was like, I could, because one night I was up in the middle of the night and he just would not let me go. Like arms tight, like leg right over. And
So what
I'm
happens
just like,
when you have to go to the bathroom?
I have to I whisper to him, it's like, hey, I'll be right back. I gotta go. And then he lets me go. But then as soon as I come back, it's like, boom. I'm like, okay. So that was like the first time. And then it's like he was trying to think that, because he was holding me the whole time that movie. I was like, it was a 2-hour and almost 2-hour, 20-minute movie. So he was holding me the whole time. And so that was his logical reason. I'm just thinking, I think you're finally comfortable and confident with our relationship that you don't need to like hold me like a little toy that I'm like, I don't want to let you go. Like you might disappear or you might,
I'm curious if there's trauma there that a woman has like slept with him and then disappeared, or it's, I don't know.
I don't know. Like I said, it's like the little kid holding the teddy bear at night, just to have the security blanket. You know what I mean? And so that's why I'm saying, like, I think he's finally at that, we're comfortable at the relationship.
I'm really happy I let you go first. Did mine quick.
Yeah.
Because it's 56 after.
I know. I told you. That's why I said you have to go first.
Real quick.
Quick. Okay. So Sunday morning we were supposed to come, and it's like at that point I'm like, I was ready to come home to John. I'm like, I miss you so much. I really wanted to. It's just like, but again, we did that whole squeeze thing, and he was a little bit more aggressive. He was a little bit more what do you call it? Like biting harder without me telling him. And it's just like, yeah, I got little marks, and I told him, it's like, yeah, I'm super sensitive right now. And he was just like, Ike. And I'm like, it's good. He's like, yeah. He's like, I feel bad, but it gets me excited. So he's going through those conflicts of it. And so since we stopped at south of the border and he's never been to a Buc-ee's, that's why we had to stop at Buc-ee's. And then we came home. I got my sexy back.
And we all went out for drinks.
Yeah.
Got to meet.
Yeah, get to meet. But you'll be talking more with him on Saturday or Sunday. I don't know if he's coming for both days or just the one day for the race.
But we'll be talking more with him this week.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, kind of deal. Yes, kind of deal. So, yeah, because now he's with family for the week and he'll be working. We still don't know how long he's going to be in here, but I did tell him, it's like, if you have an urge to masturbate, just call me. We'll just get together instead of you just doing masturbation. It's like, your girl's here. You could have sex. It's not like you should be lacking sex on this trip. You know what I mean? It's like, so we shall see. That's like, I tried to do my best and cover all the bases on it in regards to this trip.
We need to continue it more next time.
Yes.
I mean, mine was pretty quiet because I did a little bit, and my kitty is off on her own adventure.
Right.
So I didn't really talk to her a whole lot, but we should probably tell them how they can, like, what our services are before we go.
Right. Go for it.
You always do it so well. Okay, so we are Sex Positive Me, John and Angelique Luna. We do classes like at Fairville online. So if you're interested in learning anything from rope and bondage to alternative relationships, we do it on there. But am I supposed to do it as you're chugging it?
Sorry, I talked the entire time. I was like thinking, it's like, so.
We also do
private coaching.
Mm-hmm. If you're interested, go to sexpositiveme.com and check us out. Also, visit our sponsors. That would be awesome to do. So, did I get them all covered?
I think so there. So, yeah. So next week, we're probably going to be talking about how I barely survived the half marathon because I feel like I'm not fully like train on it because I not really did hardcore this last time because December I took off completely because I was sick and holidays and it was just very difficult for me to train. So now we're coming up and I'm going to do a 10K, which is 6.2 miles and then 13.1 on Sunday. And we have to be there by 4 a.m. Oh, I hate that.
But your husband and your boyfriend will be cheering you on.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
I know my husband would be. He'll be taking all the pictures and everything. So we will try to post. If you're interested in trying to track me and follow me, send us a private message so that way I could send you the link and my bib number so you could, follow along if you want to get up at 5 a.m. to see where exactly I am.
Very early.
Yeah, so I'm hopefully I could still keep my 3 hours and 15-minute timeline for my half marathon, but I'm trying not to what do you call it?
We're out of time.
We're out of time. All right. Love you guys. Thank you. Bye.
See you later, everyone. Thanks for showing up.
I want to see all the conversation. So